feeling sick? Should you sing? Keep watching, and I'm going to give you 10 tips on how to deal with singing when you're sick. Now, before I go through the 10 tips, I just want to clarify that I'm not a doctor, and these are just some things that I have used in the past that have helped me to get through performances. The best thing for you to do is go and consult your doctor and get some advice from them in regards to your illness and the best way to treat it. Okay? Number 1, rest. Now, this is a really hard one because we have such busy lives and we're always on the go. But the best way for the body to recover from illness, like the cold or flu or COVID, is to rest. And that's probably the best advice that I can give and allow the body to recover. And sometimes you may have to just, stay in bed for a few days to allow the body to actually get over whatever it is that you have. So that's number 1. Number 2, hydration. Now, hydration is vital all the time. We should always be drinking plenty of fluids all the time if we are a singer. The vocal cords need to be lubricated, and particularly in the winter months when we're in rooms that have artificial heating, that can dry out the voice quite quickly. So we need to keep our fluids up all the time. You can become dehydrated quite quickly, and to rehydrate yourself, it actually takes time. So if I'm drinking now, that's to hydrate my body for, in hours time. It's not just something that I can do right now. And I know a lot of people, it's important to sip water, especially when we're practicing and that sort of thing, to try and help with hydration, but it's that constant keeping the fluid up that's really important for the body. Number 3, stopping the cough. The reason we want to stop the cough is to prevent inflammation of the vocal cords. So when we cough, we're banging the cords together, and that's where they become red, swollen, and inflamed. So coughing is a bad thing for singers. And one way you can help that is to steam. So use just using warm water. What I do is I just get a cup, so like a mug, and I'll boil some water. You have to be careful, of course, with the hot water. Put the water in the cup, and I actually just cup my hand and breathe in the steam. And we have Vicks. I don't know if you have that anywhere else in the world, but I put Vicks in the water, and that the menthol in that is really soothing for the throat. So steaming is a really good one. So making sure you breathe through your nose, not through your mouth. That can also help with nasal drip. Nasal drip is a real problem for singers, and it can be quite uncomfortable when you're trying to sing with a nasal drip. Number 4, honey and warm water. Now, of course, been searching on YouTube about ways to help get over COVID because it's been quite horrible. There were a lot of doctors giving advice of honey and warm water, and I actually found that really helpful to quell the cough, to stop the cough. So I'd highly recommend trying that one. The other thing too is when you're sleeping is to actually sort of prop yourself up a bit if you can. So when you lie down, of course, all the fluid sort of drains down and can make you want to cough. So that's really a good way of doing it. Number 5, eat well and take vitamins. Making sure you have a good diet when you are feeling unwell is really important. And I have found things like soup. So making, chicken soup and pumpkin soup and all those sorts of warming soups, they're really good for the throat. They help soothe the throat, and having warm liquids is good for the body too. Shouldn't be having cold drinks if we can help it. And if you're not feeling 100%, if you're a bit queasy in the stomach, the soups can be really soothing for you. And then vitamins. So at the moment I'm taking vitamin D every day because we're not getting enough sunshine. It was nice to sit out in the sun today and get some vitamin D from the sun's rays, but we need to keep our vitamin D up. I've been taking extra vitamin C and orange juice, that sort of thing that can help with the citrus. Just making sure that, you're eating well. Lots of greens. I've found smoothies are really good. So at the moment I'm making a smoothie with lots of spinach. So you're getting all your greens, and then lots of antioxidants with frozen berries. So I put in frozen berries, spinach, and then some yogurt, a bit of protein powder, and some honey. That is really giving me a nice boost. So that's very helpful too. Number 6, be prepared. What does that mean, being prepared? It's important that we are always working on our voice. So working on our technique and working on our songs and always being prepared for performance. And that can be very challenging when you're unwell. If you have prepared well, the body is able to cope a lot better. So if you haven't prepared your body with good technique, or you haven't been exercising, or prior to being sick, or you haven't been working on your songs, that sort of thing, well, it's going to be so much harder to perform. Always being prepared is just so important. Always got to be maintaining your voice, always working on technique to make sure that when you aren't 100%, and that could be anything, you might have a really bad headache when you're performing, or perhaps you've got a muscular injury or something like that. All those sorts of things can affect how we sing. So making sure that we are prepared for any sort of unforeseen circumstance, that's really important. Number 7, if you are able to, think about the repertoire you're going to perform. So say, for example, you're just doing a gig somewhere. Go through your set list and check and see, well, what songs am I going to be most comfortable with? So trying to find songs where it doesn't have a huge vocal range, where it's sort of more, things are more in your mid-range, or you're not belting full on songs. Or if you've got a beltier song, maybe put it near the end of the program, and then just be careful about it. Like, don't force anything, just accepting, well, today I have to sing at 80%. It's not going to be a full on performance. Now, we don't want to be doing that if we can help it, but I think it's better that we perform at 80% or 60% than not at all. Just being aware that, okay, I might have to change the repertoire, I might have to change the songs that I'm performing. Maybe you could work out something so you can have more of a break in between. If you're playing with a band, maybe the band could do more musical interludes to just give your voice a rest. There's ways around that. However, if you're doing like a musical, or you've got, an audition, although an audition you can, choose a song that's not going to be quite so straining on the voice. Say you're in a musical and you can't change the repertoire, you have to do what you've got. Well, like I just said, do it at 80% or 60% rather than full on, so that you can get through the show. And if you're doing a musical or something like that, or even just a regular performance, it's really wise not to talk too much on the day you're performing. So give the voice as much chance to rest as possible. Don't whisper. Whispering is so bad for the voice. Just don't talk. Just give the voice a chance to rest and recuperate. Number 8, warm up, but don't overdo it. Get the voice ready, check in, see what you can do, go through your vocal range, but don't, overextend it. Just make sure, yes, I can tell that it's going to work, it's going to get me through the performance, and then just wait until the performance. If you're doing a concert where you can change your program around a little bit, maybe pick a song that's going to give you a chance for the voice to warm up without overtaxing it from the beginning. Number 9, use straws. I'm going to put some links down below for some videos that talk about using straws. Straws are really good for tired voices. So if you've been talking a lot during the day, so you're not exactly sick, but you've overused your voice, straws are a really good way to reset the vocal cords, just help any swelling to reduce. You can actually warm up completely on straws. But anyway, check out the videos down below and you can see how straws can be really helpful with your singing, especially when your voice is not 100%. And number 10, and I've said this already, when performing, don't push. So it's not about 100%, although I don't think I've ever performed at 100%, because we always want a little bit in reserve just in case. We don't want to push to a point where, things can go wrong. We want to be in control of what we're doing. So 100% is probably a little bit too much. Always, 90% might be the best way to go. But just back off. If you're not 100%, you can't give 100%. Give as best you can, and remember that, there will be another time for a performance when you're feeling better. At the moment, you just want to get through your performance. If you are unwell, Don't tell the audience. That's not for them to know. You just do the best you can, and if you're prepared to get on stage, if you feel well enough to do that, well then you don't need to tell them. So there you go. There's my 10 tips for what to do when you're sick and you want to perform. Just remember that your vocal health is really important, and you don't want to risk damaging your voice for the sake of one performance. There's always ways around things, and talk to someone or get some advice about how you can either cancel the performance if you have to. Just remember, you only have one voice and you need to take care of it. For anyone who has the flu or COVID at the moment, I know what you're going through. It's okay. We will get through it. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope it's been a little bit of help for you. Take care if you are unwell. Hopefully you'll be back out singing really soon. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.